My name's Julie Bayan. I am the corporate manager here at the Independent Police Conduct Authority, and our responsibility is to manage and investigate complaints about police misconduct. We receive around about 4,500 complaints a year. Our crime monitoring agency is Ministry of Justice. So we're reporting those performance metrics to our Minister on a quarterly basis, but also at year end via our annual reporting. We have two sort of user groups within the organisation. So our resolutions team that's responsible for receiving, categorising the assessment, triage of the complaint, which determines how we will manage the complaint, either resolution, a facilitated resolution of the complaint, or may have no further action by the authority. About 95% of our complaints that we receive are managed by that operational group. And then we have our investigations team who undertake independent investigation of the complaint. We had to have a system that worked for two quite distinct user groups. We came from a really basic access database, which was basically a lot of inputting in disjointed random fields in the database. Very constrained in reporting and analysis functionality. We knew we had really rich, valuable data, but weren't able to access it. To give that insight on a broader sector-wide understanding of what we were seeing, that was a really major frustration for us. The material that we receive is in all sorts of formats and there's a huge volume of it. So we needed to have somewhere to house that material that was really easily accessible via the CRM. One of the key considerations that we were looking for when we approached Magnetism was that we needed to have a platform that was familiar but had more functionality. We wanted to have all of our core business applications out of one stable. So what was really good working with the Magnetism team was the guidance that they gave us around trying to think outside of what we knew and how we did things. They knew that this is the job that we did day in, day out, but they helped our thinking with unlocking some of the solutions that we didn't know were there. So there was a lot of testing going on from the Magnetism side of things to make sure that when we did the actual data migration, that Magnetism had ironed out any of the glitches, and we really didn't miss a beat because there had been that time and that robust testing that had gone on beforehand. So the fact that we walked in the next day and could do our jobs, it was a big tick and testament to the work that the project team had put in beforehand. We chose Dynamics largely because we wanted to have a platform from which we could get to not just reporting on individual cases, but could get to that big picture oversight across the full complaint inventory. The key to making things work in a really practical sense is that the security permissions are set in such a way that you can get to the information that you need for your role easily and quickly. So then we've got the means by which we can lock down access to a particular SharePoint folder or to particular documents. We've used Power BI to develop a number of dashboards or views which are used both internally at a team level, so to understand things like case allocations, where there might be particular pinch points with the number of cases that people are holding, but we've also used that for our board reporting, where we're looking at things at a slightly higher level. We've been able to start thinking about what data we can pull together, how that might be useful in a wider justice sector context, and how we might be able to do comparative analysis with the data that we're collecting that has relevance in a broader justice sector context. It's a position that we always aspired to get to. We have continued the relationship with Magnetism, some development that we're looking at to incorporate another area of the work that we do into the CRM and create an environment to house that work, to be able to report upon that work. We wouldn't have done that if we didn't feel that that was the right place for it to be. We're light years from where we were 4 years ago, which is a massive improvement for the way that we can work.